Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
Brooke couldn't be here this week for our first Unrivaled Week 1 recap. Yeah, it's just a little late. Hopefully, in the future, we have these out on Tuesday. But you got us today. Better late than never, right? So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench. And if you want to keep up to date with everything, join our Discord. Link in the description. We go over everything women's basketball from college, WNBA, and now to Unrivaled. So let's kick off the first show. So me and Meg were discussing, I don't know how we want to do this show. I feel like all of our shows have a structure. Unrivaled's different, and I think this show's going to be different. This little recap's going to be different for Unrivaled. We usually go over news, and I wanted to open it up to you guys. Do we want to, like, news-wise? Unrivaled doesn't have, like, news, like, trades and all this frequently. So do we want to open it up to, like, keeping up with the WNBA free agency? I know it's different, but it still has to do with the same players we're going to be talking about. I mean, Meg, what do you think about that? Do you think we should have WNBA news? We don't, because we
Yeah,
don't have a chance to talk about it, I guess.
yeah. I think we let the viewers decide, tell us what they think, what they want to see.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, comment below what you guys want to, like, do we want to follow free agency? Do we want general WNBA news? Let us know. But first, let's just to Unrivaled, Meg. Opening weekend, how was it? Give me your feels.
I would say it's entertainment, and I'm here for it. Um, I like this platform. I mean, I kind of like it more than 5 on 5.
I mean, regular
Um,
basketball? No.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's competitive, and you get to
Yeah.
see players like a different style of their play. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
more up tempo. You can see some battles happening, some one on ones, like people going at each other,
Yeah.
and I think that's going to grow because this is the
Mm-hmm.
first week.
Mm-hmm.
But give it some time, you're gonna see that out of people.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I love it so far.
I agree with you. I like the Skylar versus Jewel Lloyd little one-on-one opening night battle. That was great. But I like that. I mean, media and social media is creating their own narratives of what went down on that. But it's just the competitive spirit. I love the fast pace. I love the winning quarter. I love that. The chance to come back. I know some of these games people got blown out, but those close ones where you still have a chance to come back. I really do like that. I think that's my favorite part of Unrivaled, honestly. Um, but okay, I mean, honestly, let's just go over the standings. Laces 2-0, Lunar Owls 2-0, Vinyl 2-0, Mist 0-2, Phantom 0-2, and Rose 0-2. So pretty lopsided? I don't know how to explain it. I mean, are you shocked by any of these standings after week 1?
I'm shocked to see the Miss are 0-2. But at the same time, watching the Laces and the Lunar Owls, even Vinyl play, it's
Hmm.
like not as shocking. But
Yeah.
if I'm shocked about any team, it'd be the Mist.
I think I would have to agree with you. Um, yeah, the Mist. I didn't think they were gonna lose back-to-back games. Obviously, they should have won. They should have beat Lunar Owls. They let them back in, but we'll talk about that. But, um, yeah, I think I would say the Mist is the most shocked. I thought the Rose have been in some competitive games.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you. I'm most shocked at the Mist, and I think most people we've talked to or I've seen on social media are the most shocked about the Mist.
Hmm.
Dropping 0-2. But I feel like after these next couple weeks, playing the same people over and over and over again, these battles are going to get way closer. Like, this is the first week. Like, people are filling it out. Some people haven't played 3-on-3 before. I mean, you could tell Reinhard, Dierica, the people that have, played 3-on-3, like, they're excelling right now. So, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna adjust. It's gonna get harder and harder as people adjust. Um, but yeah, I still think it's gonna be it's a great league. Like I like the 3-on-3 concept. And then especially once that one on one starts, like that's gonna just be a whole nother dynamic. And the players that are in this league are competitive, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be a battle. The standings are gonna change. Yeah, but I'm here for it. I like it.
Who were you most impressed with after this week one?
Laces,
Yeah.
hands down. I mean, I know going into it, I like the team. I
Yeah.
think on my initial reaction, I ranked them low. I think I probably had them like my fourth team, I
hmm
believe.
No.
Um, know what?
No, I don't think you did because remember when I was trying to vie for the number four spot, you talked me into Rose or no, you talked me into Vinyl over Laces. So that
Yeah.
would put Laces at the five spot.
Here, I think I have my notes here.
No, but like, okay, but like just go off of the Laces. Like what are you impressed by?
I mean, they're a talented team. I just thought that it would take them a minute to gel and everything.
Yeah.
But I was shocked how well they're already playing together. Like
Mm-hmm.
they out of every team I've watched play, I feel like they're the most like well put together. Like
Yeah.
it's like they don't even have to communicate. They're swinging the ball, feeding the ball,
Mm-hmm.
getting it in the hot hands. You see no selfishness already on the team, and they're just gelling. Like they're playing well together. They're hustling. I did miss the opener, the
Mm-hmm.
Miss and Lunar Isles, and I know you said that was a really good one.
Yeah.
But I pretty much caught every other game, and
Mm-hmm.
so with not seeing that game, I know you said that was fast paced, but
Mm-hmm.
all the other games I saw, the Laces were involved, and they were the ones that were consistently pushing the ball
Yeah.
constantly, playing good D.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was fun to watch them play.
And all without Jackie Young.
Hmm.
So curious to see how she gets worked into there. Um, I think I'd have to agree with you, Laces. For me, I think because I was so down, not down on Vinyl, but I think I was the most hesitant, I would say Vinyl for me.
Hmm.
Just because what was I mean, I feel like I don't know how to explain my judgment on Vinyl, but basically I was just like, man, I don't know how they're gonna gel. I guess the same thing is what you said about the Laces. I don't know how they're gonna gel. Enrique, Ryan Howard, Derek Hamby all want the ball, but I mean, out there they're sharing. Like it's
Hmm.
same with the Laces. Hot hand. Um, Ryan and Derek on the same page from 3-on-3. Yeah, I think I'm most shocked with Vinyl, but I really do think they can keep it competitive throughout the rest of the season. Um, I mean, but with that said, do you think, after week one, you think the standings are kind of going to stay the same? Do we see kind of teams falling out, pushing up, coming down? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, no, they're not going to stay the same. In my opinion, I mean, the Miss they have two big competitors on that team, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Brianna and Jewel, there's no way that they're gonna keep losing games. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And the same with Rose. I think I ranked Rose. I think you're right. I think I ranked Rose above Laces,
Yeah.
because they got some scores on that team, and
I
I
know.
think they're
Yeah.
just trying to work out how they gel. I
Yeah.
will say this with the Rose. I think like Copper, Sykes, and Gray
Mm-hmm.
need to be the starters.
Copper
They,
Sykes, Gray. That's a small lineup.
yeah, but that's their scoring lineup. They still play well defensively together. That's your go-to squad. Um,
Interesting.
and then you rotate everyone else, in that.
That's gonna
But
be hard though, because depending on who you're matched up with, it can't go that small. There's just no
I don't
way.
know. But when I was watching them play, they're the ones that had the chemistry. When they were all on the court together, I felt that's when stuff started to happen.
Yeah.
Um, so that's just my opinion, but
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like they just need more time to gel.
Yeah.
But they're gonna get it. I mean, you got Angel, you got a good team.
Yeah.
They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
The only team I'm like, I think they're gonna struggle is Phantom, because the chemistry's not there. And like I was saying about Rose, like they're gonna build chemistry. This Phantom's
Yeah.
gonna build chemistry too.
Yeah.
But it's like I just see them working against each other.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, I think they're gonna take longer out of all the other teams to build that chemistry. But at the same time, these are all professional WNBA players.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna make it work. None of these teams, I can't picture any of these teams like going the whole season without winning a game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there's no way. Yeah.
Well, the thing about the Phantom and why I laugh is because I feel like they're missing that a guard. I mean, okay, that's rude. I can't say that. Like I was gonna say they're missing a guard, and they trade away Tiffany Hayes and Jackie Young, which they would love to have right now. Marina Mabry's hurt. And it just they're just feels like they're just not on the same page. And I think you were
Hmm.
right. They don't have the pieces to play. What is it? What'd you say? Something about like they don't have the players that can make plays on their own. Like they're all more off ball players. Like someone
Yeah, I
has
said
to
that
get
when we
them
were
the.
watching it.
Hmm.
That they're usually, not the ones in the normal 5-on-5 where they're the ones necessarily creating. I know
Hmm.
Sabrina started to get better at it, but it's
Yeah.
still not her like I'm super comfortable doing that all the time.
Hmm.
So they don't have that, right? So
Hmm.
um yeah, I think that's something that will have to be worked on.
Yeah. And
And
like
I
the
mean, sorry, they have that. I mean, they got Brittany Garner, and they have to adjust when she's in there because it's just a different style. Like, right, Brittany's
yeah.
not that like can sprint up and down the floor, right? So you
Yeah.
gotta. It's like they just have to adjust to play with their strengths.
Yeah.
You have Satu, you got um oh my gosh, Sabrina. I'm like trying to
Yeah.
think. You got Sabrina, Satu, they got some chemistry. But yeah, I think they just need to adjust to their playing style because Satu just plays faster and in a different style than kind of Sabrina, in my opinion, and then different, obviously, to Garner. So it's just
Hmm.
adjusting.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. And when we're watching the games, the teams with the athletic big that can run the floor, that can shoot the threes and outside presence, they're the ones succeeding. Because they have to spread the floor. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I don't know, for some reason, I think if you could shoot the three consistently, that's the advantage. I don't know. Because the Laces, I feel like demonstrated that. They were fire from three their first game. And I just think it just I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about like that aspect of it?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary because, I mean, first week, yes, Kayla McBride came out lights
Hmm.
out, right? Like she
Yeah.
had a hot week. You could say the same with Vinyl, right? The first game, Ryan wasn't missing, like she was hitting.
Yeah.
But then the second game, she wasn't as hot as she was. So it's like there's gonna be games where people are just on, but I don't think that's like a deciding factor. I mean, you can still win games without the three.
I
But
beg to differ.
I
Because
mean,
look at the Rose. They don't have a consistent outside threat, and we've talked about it. That
yeah,
hurt
but look
them.
how many missed layups they were missing too. Same with Phantom. That first game, I don't know if you watched that one, but they were getting good looks. Like they were getting to the basket and then they weren't finishing.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, but it is helpful. Obviously, 3 points is more than 2 points if you do the math, right? But I don't think it's like an absolute. And I
I don't
mean,
know.
Phantom has Sabrina, so it's not like they can't shoot threes.
But
And
I'm
then and
saying
then when they
like
bring Marina back when she's healthy
yeah, but who knows? I think that's like 2 to 4 weeks. So I mean, you're
and
gonna be
Satu
waiting
can
on
shoot,
that.
yeah,
I said
Natasha. I mean,
consistent three
yeah,
point threat.
yeah, and Sabrina is consistent,
But
but
you said that she needs someone to help her get open. She
yeah,
can't
she
make it
needs
her.
someone to,
Okay.
yeah.
So boom, let's go through the teams. Meet the Laces. I'm going back through them. Consistent 3 point threat. Caleb McBride. Jackie Young, maybe. She has her good and bad days as of last season wasn't the best. Tiffany Hayes sometimes is hot. Kate Martin, great 3 point threat. Phantom, you're right. When Marina Mabry comes back, maybe it'll help him out. Sabrina, yeah, but we said the downfall is her, not being able to get open on her own. Lunar Owls, Alicia Gray, Skylar Diggins, Nafisa Collier can hit a three. The Mist, well, Jewel Lloyd and Brianna Stewart haven't been too hot, which has been hurting them from the three. Just shoot. Well, Jewel Lloyd I know did good that one game, the first game, but then they just shit the bed on that one. And then I mean the Rose. You have Chelsea Gray, Kalia Copper, Angel Reese, Brittany Sykes, Lexi Hull, Azrae Stevens. You have no concern with the three? I'm not saying they can't hit the three. I'm saying a player that's known for hitting a three and is consistent enough for us to be like, yes, that's a 3-point threat. They all can shoot a three, but I'm talking about consistently. We've seen them all hit big 3-point shots. But when I'm talking about other players on other teams that are known for that, I find that concern for the Rose, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, but I still look at the Rose and I'm like, the team's just so talented that
They are. I really like the Rose. I already said that they're a sleeper team. They're super athletic.
what
I
I
just
saw,
think,
what I saw with the Rose is one, Azari Stevens looked like she was waiting for a confirmation to be able to shoot the basketball. There's plenty of times where she had the ball and it's like, just shoot it. Like you shot the shot before.
I
What are
know what
you
you're talking
doing?
about. Yeah, you're right.
And she was hesitant. And
Uh-huh.
so I think with them it's like it's a it's like all these teams, they just gotta figure it out. They gotta
Yeah.
figure out each other's games and then just build around that, right? Build around each other's strengths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, because you have Brittany Sykes, she's so quick off the dribble. Kalia Copper, so quick off the dribble. Like that's hard to guard, and when it's hard to guard like that, they could push the ball at a tempo that if they're matched up against Phantom, that's hard for Phantom to guard that. Like imagine Brittany Garner trying to guard
Yeah, but I'm not worried
Brittany
about
Sykes, Chelsea
Phantom.
Gray, and Kalia off the dribble, like so it's just like
Yeah,
and in any of them, even if Angel and Azure, they're both big running posts. Like
I agree.
so, they every team just needs to build off their strength, and it's gonna come. I think it's gonna come for every team, and I don't necessarily think like they need that big time like oh 50
I think it's
fifty
helpful.
percent or
I
up
think it's
3 point
helpful.
shooting, but
I think it's helpful. The only thing about the Rose that I'll agree with you is that them being off because Chelsea Gray would, make her behind the back passes and it'd be a little off, you know? But it's like gelling and making like that
yeah,
connection, securing that connection kind of thing, right?
yeah,
So once they get that down, I agree with you. They're super athletic, they're quick off the dribble, they're great defensively. Like my pre-prediction was the Rose were going to be a sleeper team. Oh, okay, they start off 0-2, but it's long season, you know? But I do want to shout out that on opening night of Unrivaled, it was the most watched women's basketball game on TNT Sports platform ever. Women's basketball viewership, it was also a record for women's basketball viewership on Max. And then there was 31 million views on Unrivaled content across Bleacher Report platforms. That's awesome. Love to hear it. Um, let's just briefly, like I said, we're trying to fill out how we want to structure this, recap, but let's just briefly go over, Meg, each team's wins and losses. So we'll start with the Laces. They're first on the standings. So Laces defeated Phantom 86 to 48, and then they defeated the Miss 63 to 43. So both games just killing their opponents. Um, Kayla McBride led the team both times, and then Alyssa Thomas and Tiffany Hayes, um, the other two games. So, I mean, from both of these performances, I mean, you watched the Phantom game. I didn't get to watch them against the Phantom. Like, what do you think about that game?
yeah. Kayla McBride just wasn't missing, and like
Yeah.
the bigs, like they were feeding the ball. They were moving well, screening for each other.
Mm,
They just seemed in a good rhythm, and
yeah.
they were feeding the hot hand, and it
Hmm.
worked. And this is a team that's scrappy. Like they were
Yeah.
they were getting steals, and just pushing the
Yeah.
ball. And yeah, it was like one speed, and they didn't slow down from that speed.
Yeah. I mean, it carried over with the Mist. I feel like the Mist themselves beat themselves. They just were off. They didn't look right. They didn't look like the first game against Lunar. But I mean, I think the Laces momentum carried over into this game.
Huh.
They looked hot to me. Probably not as hot as the first game because the way you were talking about it, because I didn't get to watch it, like they were like unstoppable.
Yeah,
So,
they look good.
um, yeah, and I mean. I can't wait to see when Jackie Young's back, how they factor in. Hopefully she's
Hmm.
back soon. I don't think there's a timeline. But it
I
must
only
not.
see them getting even better.
I know, but it must not be long because you know how. Well, who is it? Who signed Natisha Hydeman? And you made the comment like, oh, it was a Phantom, because Mabry's hurt, so maybe Jackie won't be out too long because they didn't sign anyone.
Well,
Remember?
I thought that the same thing with why am I blanking on Cameron Brink? The Lunar Owls didn't sign anyone.
Oh, but then you were like, they don't need anyone.
But then yeah, they ride the core. So
They ride those three for real.
yeah, so
Let's just transition over to Lunar Owls. They defeated the Mist 84-80, and then they defeated the Rose 79-70. Two close games. Nafisa Collier was both their leading scorer. Um, but I mean, yeah, Lunar Owls. Nafisa Collier is just so great. And I predicted last year that she was going to be WNBA MVP, like our preseason prediction. She wasn't, but she had an MVP season. And I just think there's so much more that she has to show us and offer us in the W just off these performances that she's had. Like, she's going to be the WNBA MVP next year. I'm calling it now.
so she made a good point.
Mm.
So after I forget what game it was, but after the game, or she was there watching another game or something. They're interviewing her, and she made a good point about how like she loves this 3-on-3 concept because it allows players like her, where in the WNBA she is constantly getting like double
Double
teamed,
teamed.
triple teamed,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
so easy when you're playing 5-on-5 for you to collapse down in the
Yeah.
paint and like so it makes it harder to really do things that you can do, right? To
Yeah.
really showcase all your skills
Yep.
and everything. So this 3-on-3 kind of eliminates that, right?
Hmm.
That help defense is a little bit harder when it's 3-on-3. Yes,
Yeah.
you can drop in, but it's very unlikely that you're going to be double teaming and
Hmm.
trapping and stuff like that because you don't have all the other players. You have one other player that can get beat.
Yep.
So it allows us to really see her go in her bag and
Hmm.
score 27 points, 31 points like this. Like,
No, I
yeah.
agree. But I mean, the Lunar Owls, yeah, they're probably going to be one of my favorite teams. They have Skylar Diggins-Smith, who's just a menace. Alicia Gray complements the starting three very well. And then just off the bench, you have energy. Courtney Williams and Shakira Austin are going to give you so much energy off the bench. So, I mean, this team is well built, in my opinion. They're exciting to play. Obviously, two close games. I know you didn't get to watch the Lunar Owls versus Mist, but it was a great game. Mist, like I said, dropped the ball. They had the lead. They had the lead going into the fourth, and they let Lunar Owls come all the way back, and then Skylar just cashed a three to win the game on them. I mean, Jewel Lloyd went off that game. I mean, she did very well, but um, yeah, Lunar Owls, I think they're exciting. Obviously, two close games, but we talked about the Mist and the Rose. We think they're good teams. Like 0-2, that's not what we projected or thought they would do the first week. So I'm kind of not surprised that these two games were that close. I mean, would you agree or?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see the Lunar Owl versus the Miss, but yeah,
Yeah.
both good teams.
Hmm. Okay, and then lastly, let's talk about Vinyl defeating Rose and then Vinyl defeating Phantom. Ryan Howard was on fire against the Rose. I think we had just talked about it, hitting all these threes, um, just on fire. Dearica Hamby was the leading scorer against the Phantom. Another really well-rounded team, um, and just I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I said, I think I was doubtful because I didn't know. Enrique loves the ball. We see her on Dallas. Ryan commands the ball. Dearica commands the ball. But I feel like they've gelled really well just within, the time they've had together. I mean, it's shown. Obviously, close games, but they know how to squeak it out. Dearica's a dynamic big, and I think that is the another edge that you can have, on 3-on-3. I mean, what do you think?
Mhm. Yeah, they're doing well, and I think Rike said it in her interview as well. Like she made it known, she's like, "I'm not here to play selfish basketball.
Oh,
Whoever
okay.
has the hot hand gets the ball. So
Yeah.
I loved hearing her say that because I know even myself, I wondered how that was going to work out because you have two players where you expect the ball to be in their hand between Ryan and her. So, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even De'Erica after the season she just had, so I can't even count her
Yeah.
out. But with all of that, with Enrique saying that, it shows the chemistry. It shows like, they're here to win games,
Yeah.
right? They're coming in with the right mindset.
Yeah.
And then you have two players that already know how to play 3-on-3
Mm-hmm.
basketball, and you can have the rest of the team just learn from that. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I feel like with the vinyl, like, okay, Ryan's hot one game. Enrique didn't do that well the first game, but the second game, Enrique was hot, and like they can compliment each other and pick each other up that way. And I feel like Enrique, like we had talked about, like we would take her on the 1v1, like that would be our champion, right? So it's kind of like her just change of pace, her speed, her quick step to the basket. Like you have to guard Ryan out here on the three. You also have to guard Arike at the three, but then she's gonna blow by you. And then Dierica, I mean, she can hit an occasional three. And then she's just dynamic. So I mean, yeah, they definitely showcase that, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how everyone adjusts for this next week. I know certain teams haven't played each other, like not everyone's played each other, so maybe after a couple weeks we'll see that huge adjustment. Um, but yeah, I think we can all agree Phantom struggled the most. We had the least hopes for them. I don't know. Um, but I think Rose and Mist, they can turn it around. Coming off of or coming into week two, upcoming games, we have Friday, January 24th, Phantom versus Mist. Um, if Mist, you lose to the Phantom at this point, we're gonna red flag. Like, would you be shocked if the Mist lose to the Phantom?
I mean, like I said, I only got to see the kind of the bad game that the Miss had. So after seeing that and missing the first game, I
Wow.
mean, I probably wouldn't be surprised.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but I mean, I see because Miss had such a bad game, I feel like they would bounce back.
I'm thinking. Then we have Laces versus Vinyl. This is going to be a knock. Like, this is going to be a great game. I'm excited for this one the most. If you had to choose between Laces and Vinyl, who would you take?
Laces.
Okay. I don't know who I'd take, but I'll just take Vinyl just to be the opposite of you. Next on Saturday, January 25th, we have Mist versus Rose, and then we have Lunar Owls versus Phantom. Oh man, Phantom, there's no break. I don't know like who the Phantom could go against to have an even shot.
This
I
league's
just
going to be competitive.
I know. I just feel so bad. And then on Monday, January 27th, we have Vinyl versus Lunar Owls, Rose versus Laces. Who you got between Vinyl and Lunar Owls?
Lunar Owls.
Okay. You just don't like the Vinyl after you stood up and said the Vinyl are going to be
No,
good.
I like the vinyl, and they're
Yeah.
going to be in both of these games. It's going to
Yeah.
come all the way down to the end. I
Yeah.
don't
This is
see
going
them
to be
getting blown out
crazy.
of either one of these. Like they have a chance to win either one of these games. My prediction is Laces and Lunar Owls. So
All right. Let's have a Megan prediction corner, actually. Let's go through it. Let's go from the first game. Phantom or Mist?
Mist,
Laces or Vinyl?
Laces,
Mist or Rose?
Mist,
Ooh. Oh, okay. Lunar Owls or Phantom?
Lunar Owls,
Vinyl or Lunar Owls?
Lunar Owls,
And then Roses versus Laces.
Laces.
All we'll come back to see how great Megan's predictions were. We should do this every week. We should do this for women's college basketball. Ooh, that'd be a good one. All right. Oh, we should. Next time Brick's here, I'll have you two go against each other. We should just do a three panel. We'll start out with Megan. We'll see how it goes. Since Megan's the basketball mind of this pod and the reason we're still chugging along, we'll leave it to the expert. Thanks, Meg. We'll see how much of an expert you are on week two when we come back. All right, but thank you guys for tuning in. Please let us know your guys' opinions on how we should structure our recap. I feel like the first one, we wanted to get all of our opinions out of what we saw week one. But yeah, let us know. Do you want us to go over WNBA news as well? And let us know your guys' favorite team. Megan, we didn't pick a team. Pick your team. I gotta stick with Lunar Owls. I've been hootie hooing. Ever since they said hootie hoo, I said Lunar Owls, it's a wrap. I didn't even watch anyone else play. They said hootie hoo, and I said that's my team. I'm not even gonna watch anyone else play. That was great. We should get a shirt. Pick a team.
Well, I mean, I know we chose who we thought was gonna be like top teams in the very beginning, and I know I was on the Miss train, and I still think like they're a good team that just needs to figure
No.
it out.
This is a team you're cheering for. Like you're like, it doesn't matter
Oh,
their record. Like who do you want to cheer for?
oh, I probably gotta go Laces.
Okay.
I gotta stick with AT.
You know what's funny? Before we found out who the teams were, I picked the laces based on their name and colorway. I said that's a great name. And then Kelsey Plum dipped, and I said, "Hmm, I'm open to free agency." So I would have been a Laces fan. I would have been a Laces fan if Kelsey Plum stayed, but she didn't. So, okay. Besides that, let us know who you guys are cheering for. It doesn't have to be the winning team. It can be a losing team. I don't care. It's your favorite players, okay? But thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, follow us on all social media. We'll be back next week, every week, with recaps of Unrivaled. Thank you guys again. Peace.
Peace.